good. This is a Thunder can. Cue the music. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, pretty crazy little thing here. You guys will see in a second as I do a little demonstration. It's pretty simple here. It's a cardboard tube sealed at the end with a spring attached to it. It's glued at the end of the spring, so it acts as a chamber reverb down this when it swings. You can already hear some of it now. So this amplifies it, like it's like the concept of the two cans in the string. But when you shake it, it makes a mighty noise. But if you shake it harder, makes a bit more of a noise. Now if you cover it, Kev Humin, what is good? So this came from the souvenir shop. We took little Tussin out to Reptile Gardens, right? And for those who don't know, Reptile Gardens in South Dakota, it's been around since 1930, I want to say 1934, somewhere around that time. And what's interesting about it is it used to be an old style Western, like carnival type setup. And they kept all those structures intact. And then they built the Reptile Gardens around it. So there's all this old Western stuff from that era, from like old carnival stuff. Like there's a little thing that Lil Tussin got in. And I have a whole thing of content coming from it with pictures that I got on here. But this was one of the things in the souvenir shop. And they have a huge souvenir shop there. But the lady saw my Sweetwater shirt and she's like, you know, here, let me give you something over here. My wife, she's like really into Harry Potter stuff and everything. She's like, oh, this music box, maybe. I was like, no. I was like, it's cool, but, you know, she's like, I got just the thing for you. And she's like, pulls this out or whatever. And just, I was like, well, that's cool. And then I looked at the price tag of it and I was like, oh, $7.99, $8, right? And then I started thinking about it for a little bit while Lil Tussin was over here trying to pick out what he wanted. And while he was going through it, I just thought about it and I'm like, well, this is a really big gift shop. So let me see if there's anything else that's really cool here. But then I looked at one thing and then I looked at another and I was like, you know what? Even if I do find something else that's cool, I still want this. I still want to do something with this. Because if you hook this into like a guitar pedal, if you do weird stuff like, it's just a little tube like a toilet paper roll, you know, sealed on the end, glued with the thing. Pretty crazy. So people go in there and they, you know, because they have them hanging up, you know, with the string hanging down, and they're like, they pull on the string thinking that's the move, but the move here is to swing it from the top. Yeah, two springs, one cup. Here comes the gags. Nico Music. Yeah, you know, I think I will. It's gonna be a little bit because I still gotta get home and get all my equipment together and everything. But yeah, you plug this into a pedal, you add some delays to it and everything. You could make some pretty good sounds coming out of here, especially if you do some weird things, at the bottom of the cup. I mean, depending on where you shake it determines the level of noise. Just do it upside down and it. Pretty interesting. You could do it lower. Now, this appears to be Native American in origin. I mean, from the design, maybe, and I know a lot of cultural appropriation and everything like that, so there's no telling. I haven't looked up the history or anything like that, but there's a lot of native tribes in the Southwest, and then um, later on down the road, when we moved to the Pacific Northwest and learning all the tribes up there and everything, there's a lot of shops and stuff. There's a lot of stuff that has been not really appropriated, but it's the way that a lot of these tribes make their money. They make stuff and then they sell it at the gift shops, and then, the tribe retains the money. Sometimes that's not the case, but a lot of times it is. But all the places that I've been to, all the tribes that I've been to, the tribal lands, and all the gift shops that I've been to in the on the Western Hemisphere of the United States, I've never seen or heard of a Thunder Can before. It's not like I've been looking for them or whatever, but I've done a lot of traveling and I frequent a lot of places where there's some weird gift shops, especially truck stops and everything like that. And I've never seen one of these, and it's interesting because it's not one of those things that's widely noticed or known at all. There were, I think, four designs that I was able to choose from. The biggest thing for me was getting the right sound out of it. So I had to find one. And unfortunately, this one's like a little bent over here, but it actually made the best sound out of all of them because the thing that determines the sound here is the seal. And if it's sealed better, it'll make a different sound. If this is sealed better, it'll make a different sound. And it is glued here. This is weird. This is like the weirdest shit. You know what I mean? But here, if you look at the end over here, there's rubber cement, it's glued at the end. Now, I don't know if that just helps with the weight of it or if that helps with the sound. It seems like it would be. Yeah, skaters in cylinder. Yeah, a bunch of skaters in a cylinder. Like if you go to a skate park, you would hear a noise like this. And yes, it's a Thunder Can, but us audio engineers, we start getting ideas about shit. We're like, you know what? It's a bit more than a Thunder Can. And those were the things that the gears started turning in my brain about this thing after she showed it to me the first time. And I was like, I started getting all these creative ideas. I was like, you know what? I think I would like that Thunder Can, even if I don't get anything else from this souvenir shop. I think I'll get a 7.99 Thunder Can. Pretty interesting stuff. Just gave me an idea what to do with the old reverb. I think pulled it out of an amp. Cool. Sounds a bit like a bunch of skaters. Yeah, I saw that one. Her Thunder Drum. Yeah. There's little things out here that are abstract that are just like the coolest shit ever. And this is just one of them. This is just one of them. And like I said, with the design here, it appears to be made by the natives, the local tribes, because South Dakota is real big, for native. There's a huge forest here. Carbon Vibes, what is good? Welcome. Got that purple badge. Whew. Yeah, Impulse for sure. Yeah, it's got a nice little design to it, but I mean, talk about a cool thing with such primitive, I mean, we're talking, just a little bit taller than a toilet paper roll, and just about twice as thick, and right here, probably about, I don't know, like in width, it's about twice as thick, but as far as the cardboard goes, the cardboard's a lot thicker. But yeah, there's nothing to it but this tube. It's just this tube and just the seal on the end with just the string attached to it and glued in the middle. And how that seal holds determines the level of sound from it and where you hold the spring, if you decide to hold the spring, and where you hold the can. Determines the level of noise. I gotta make sure not to touch the floor over here because I'm so close to the ground. Yeah, so what I'm thinking here, James Dyson, welcome. This is exactly what I'm thinking. I'm thinking sampling this through the mixer with the effects, and then after that, sending it through a synthesizer. That sounds cool, doesn't it? See that? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take it, I'm going to sample it with effects, and I'm going to run it through a synthesizer. And after I run it through a synthesizer, probably run it through like Cube or some plugin or something like that to totally like jack it up or something. But yeah, is a seal like animal skin, like a drum? No, it isn't. It's sealed plastic, like rubber cement almost. It's the thinnest layer of plastic you could get, like almost as if it was made by thickening up rubber cement. Like it is this kind of, so it is kind of like the top of like toy plastic drums. But yeah, nothing more. And I imagine with this kind of thought here, because it's kind of like the like one of those noise box things or whatever, same concept, just more primitive technology. What Yamaha mixer did you buy? Oh, it's just the one that I have, the 10 GU or whatever, that I've been using at home, but far away from home here. Okay, I have a mission today. I'm gonna go try to mimic that thing using an object synth. Oh, nice. Here. And it's cool because it does a really big noise from a long distance. It's just, here, let me do it standing up so I can get you guys here. Let me move my hand out of the way. So you could hear that runoff. Good idea, Carbon Vibes. Yeah, because PVC makes this kind of noise automatically without the spring attached to it. So it stands to reason that if you use PVC piping, I mean, obvious reasons why they didn't use PVC piping, being the expense that it is and the primitive stuff that they have here, it's obviously a lot easier to make them with cardboard tubes, especially when you're putting a big design on the end of it. But yeah, PVC piping is quite easy to come by in the States. you know, especially if you're in a regular area in the city or something like that. You know, you can just get it from a hardware store or anything for that matter, and kind of replicate something like this. You know, yeah, a tube and a seal, some glue and a spring. So you need some rubber cement, a spring. I would probably get different sizes, you know, just to test out or whatever. Something to seal the end. I think the type of thing that you put on the seal will determine the noise, so you'd have to get something flexible. So that's why that they use the thin thing here, because it changes the dynamics of the sound. Yeah, right. See, we have a bunch of audio engineers in here and sound designers, so we get all kinds of funky ideas in our brains about what what to do with this kind of thing. And that's why I wanted to show it off here. I was going to yeah, just like a drum for sure. Um, I was just going to, I was going to make some content. I was going to do a short, but the way that YouTube pushes the shorts is kind of weird. The way that YouTube pushes these videos are kind of weird, as far as the front facing live streams or whatever like this. But I told you guys I was going to start doing this, and I'm going to do it every day. So I think we'll just make it 10 a.m. our time here. So Pacific Northwest time, it'll be 9 a.m. every morning. So we'll see how long we can go with that. You know, but yeah, I just wanted to get on real quick and show you guys. Yeah, we'll get on and talk for a little bit, you know, but I wanted to make this stream primarily about the Thunder Can, so I could show you guys. And yesterday I would have talked about this, but I wanted to talk about the 50th anniversary, or the 51st anniversary of hip hop, rather. And yeah. To none of my surprise, I did not hear one word from anybody about it. As if the anniversary is just a thing of the past, because that pivotal day or whatever, the 50th anniversary or whatever. But yeah, Thunder can, Thunder can, Thunder can go. If it doesn't, the metallic bottom bit might. Yeah, maybe. Oh, for sure. They brought Thundercats back, so you wouldn't be showing your age, really. I forgot what year that was, but Netflix brought Thundercats back. You're safe, homie. But we all know we old as fuck. Yeah, so pretty cool. Pretty cool. $7.99 Thunder Can. Makes little noise, makes big noise. But yeah, we're gonna sample this and do what we do, you know, for fun. It's gonna be a little bit, because we still got 5 more weeks up in here. You know what I mean? We just got things set up as far as that goes, but. And you know what? That's the thing of it. Don't worry, mate. Pretty sure we all far too. Yeah. You know, it's funny you say that, because looking at my demographics, the amount that are in that later age range of you know, Gen Xers or whatever, is increasing on the older spectrum. So I'm not getting younger viewers, even though I am getting more younger viewers. I'm also getting more older viewers. So we're all there as far as that goes. But yeah, I mean, there's so many things you could do with this little thing that just, you can get the blue Thunder Can. It's not quite as good as the. Yeah, so imagine using different kind of pipings and applying the same principle to other things that are close to it. So Carbon Vibes, if you really decide to make one of these, cool, you know, I mean, obviously, you know, it's going to be awesome, you know, but doing it yourself, you know, you got different options as far as things go. So, and it's got me considering doing one myself and putting them together for the sake of sound design, because I'm definitely going to be using this for sound design, because it's fun. helps too with the sound here that I'm in this little space too. So it's like, I'll turn this light down a little bit if I can. Yeah. Cameron did something similar a while back. Hope he's doing well. Yeah, he is. And yeah, that's kind of the same principle, as the horror box. You know what I mean? It's just a portable. It's like if you took, this is like the, if you took a piece of the horror box and you took it out on the road for portability, and that would be interesting too, to make a little mini horror box, because with this kind of principle here, thinking about this realistically, you could attach other things to it in other places and make other sounds come out of it. So, you're not really that far off as far as the basis of comparison goes to something like the horror box. It's just crazy. Wonder if you could stretch the string and play it like the bass. Okay, so let's see. Prop it up like this. There we go. Hold on, I gotta loosen it up a little bit. Oh, hold on. I would have to attach this to where I'm not holding it like this, to where I'm holding it like this. So I need a third arm, just something to clamp it to where I'd clamp it on the end over here and hold this and just... But it would have to be something more reflective than my finger. Yeah. Nothing like the taste of metal to start your morning. Just eat beans, mate. Yeah, right. It's like I said, the two cans and the string principle. That's how this operates. Might break it too. Yeah, and that's the thing. A lot of these break, they're really easy, which is the reason why they're so cheap. I get it, you know what I mean? It's just a little gag gift, but for us, this is everything, stuff like this, One of the main reasons why I wanted to get on there and show this off, is just because, of the creative juices and everything like that, and finding, something pretty abstract. I don't know how common these are in other locations. I mean, we're central USA, we're almost technically the Midwest. I mean, we are central, but central west. There's central west and central east. So we're operating just 1 hour behind or 1 hour ahead of West Coast time. And then on the other side of the state, I think it's the other side of the state, or the other side of Minnesota, I think, is where, and Minnesota's right next door, is where the time changes to 2 hours, and then the East Coast changes to 3 hours difference from the West Coast. So I don't know how many places around here now. We're going to be driving back from South Dakota. So because we're going to be driving back from South Dakota, we're going to be running up through, I think, Wyoming and all these other desolate places that I've never been. I looked it up. There's like nothing in Wyoming but churches, and like there's like nothing for real. Sometime I buy Circuit Bent toys. I have really cool toy guitar. Someone put a photo cell in it so you can modulate light. You can modulate it with light. That's cool. That's really cool, actually. Yeah. Yeah, and I didn't even look at the rest of the stuff. I mean, there was a $60 AR-15 rubber band gun there. That was cool, and they had that was $60 though, and they had a bunch of other, cool stuff like that with colored rubber band. But musically, they had a Harry Potter sound box. And a Thunder can. And I just thought this was such a cool, unique thing, and all the ideas that I got immediately as a sound designer, and just the overall interest and just think like, yeah, right away I can make something happen out of this, putting it through the mixer. But putting it through the mixer and then dictating it to synthesis, now there's where you have the juice, and yeah, cool stuff. Cool stuff. So there you have it, folks. The Thunder Can, which some may be more familiar than others. Found it at this gift shop here in South Dakota, United States, which is where Mount Rushmore is. And for those who aren't local to this country, Mount Rushmore, not familiar with that. It's where all the founding fathers' heads are carved in stone on native land, and they're having issues carving the other one out because the quality of the stone and all that other stuff. But yeah, yeah, it's all about inspiration, not sitting staring at a bunch of presets. That's a great point. That is a great point. Kriaxic, what is good? Yo, check this out. Check out this Thunder Can. It makes a thunder sound when you shake it. Yeah, it is refreshing. It's refreshing to this kind of. I had the same thoughts and kind of the similar reaction to this as if I'd like the Aztec Death Whistle. The Aztec Death Whistle was one of those things to where when I heard that the first time, I was like, oh yeah, that's dope. It's crazy, but the way that you could manipulate it is cool. My shit laggy, yo. I'm sorry about that. I hope it's not me here chilling in this closet. I may have to take this adventure outside with these little things. But yeah, we'll be getting on about the same time every day. Whether how long we go on just depends on the topic of conversation over here. I just really wanted to show this off because the alternative was going out of my way and making a short of it, and making a short of it, I would have to do all this extra work. I'm just not budgeted for time like that. You know what I mean? Ooh, see, it doesn't do. Oh, here we go. You have to. Oh. You'd have to go all the way like this. Oh, so I don't know. Weird, but cool. Very cool. And for an $8 souvenir, not bad at all. Not bad at all. It definitely, it's the smallest things that create inspiration. You know what I mean? And when you're inspired by these little things, it starts getting you thinking about these bigger things and ways to get through it. Reminded me, I have relatives I should visit one day in Toronto. Yeah, East Coast for sure. And there I thought I was the only one collecting out of all the Norm instruments. Yeah, I've always been a fan of the abstract when it comes to instrumentation, and before having the UVI, I wanted to go out there and get all the kids' instruments and make stuff with it, all the toy instruments. I've always been a big fan of stuff like this, because it may not be reasonable or easy to come by expensive gear, you know what I mean? And it may not be quick. You might not be able to get a bunch of stuff, even if you get inexpensive stuff, and there's all these little pieces of expensive gear that you need to get or whatever. But when it comes to little toys like this, they're all over the place. Noisemakers, especially ancient noisemakers, like I mentioned, the Aztec Death Whistle is one of them. Didgeridoo, Carbon Vibe said, bought a didgeridoo that I still have today from my trip to Japan. Oh, nice. How was Japan, by the way? I've always wanted to go there. I have so much love and respect for Japan. And my friends that live in Japan are just such good people. And half of them are from America, and the other half are from there that speak English. and it's just such a good place there. Any place that doesn't hire janitors because the children take care of their own stuff responsibly, growing up, and teaches the respect of your own environment to where you're not just throwing trash all over the place. And there's no crime there except for organized crime, really. There are specific things or whatever, but it's just not something you see. You don't see, I mean, when you could put um, vending machines out on the street in the middle of nowhere and not worry about any of them getting damaged, you know that you got a great community there. It was great. Trip was military move. Loved every minute of it. Yeah, I bet, and I think by the time I'm going to be able to go there, it's going to be no more. Shout out to Japan. They just had a issue dealing with their I think it's earthquakes or something like that. There was a big one over there. Yeah, a volcano place for sure, but interesting to say the least. You know, and You know, anytime that you have the opportunity to find something abstract that inspires you, those vending machines are Yasuka. Oh, Yakuza. He said those vending machines are Yakuza owned. So yeah, they don't mess with them. I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all, but that makes sense. That is one hell of a racket. It would probably makes him some nice little chunk of change. But yeah, they aren't faultless with all the hunting, except yeah. But they are very polite people. Yeah, no, I get it. Aren't perfect or whatever, and nobody is, especially in this life. But it's just the type of level of respect you usually don't see in the States. You do sometimes with some people, but it's not the standard, and it's the standard over there. Um, but yeah, all my friends who have moved from the States over there are never going to move back. Some of them won't even visit again. Others, back and forth or whatever. But yeah, it's just really a good place that I would like to visit before I die. It's just one of those places, and they love hip hop over there too. I was talking about hip hop yesterday, and the places in other countries or whatever. There's a dope hip hop scene in Japan. There always has been for a really long time. So they roll out the red carpet for you. So yeah, that's it here, folks. I just wanted to show you guys this. We're going to take little Tussin out for another adventure. When we took him out yesterday after the live stream, we just barely made it right before the storm hit, and it went from raining to pouring to flooding. Raindrops that were like that thick. My mom was like, they have golf ball size hail here. And I was like, yeah, makes sense. But yesterday it was that thick raindrops. And I was like, now I understand that, like, if it was just a few, degrees cooler, then we would have been dumped on that hail. But like, it was just flooded like super quick. But yeah, that's here, folks. Man, I don't blame them. If you can make a living out there, yeah, it's definitely worth it. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I would want to go there with enough money to actually establish myself to where I'm not living in town in the smaller areas. I would want some space to stretch out in. And I want to get one of those mats to sleep on too. I think my oldest has one of those. I like how nobody tells them to wear masks. They just do it because they would not dream of sneezing on someone. For real, yeah. If you're not feeling well or there's something going on around there or whatever, they're like, yo, we gotta protect our community. A lot of that stuff is lost on people here in the States. It's unfortunate, no matter how great of a community it is, there's always something. I love Vancouver, Washington, but especially lately, that's one of those unfortunate places that crime is going up. There's not very many places right here in America that crime is going up right now, but Vancouver, Washington is one of them, unfortunately. But that's what happens when you have a booming town that's in the middle of a huge booming growth process. So But yeah, that's it here, folks. I'm gonna get out of here. I just wanted to show you guys this real quick, and because it kind of blew me away. It really kind of blew me away. You know, not the primitive design and sound out of it. It's just being here at this moment. I didn't think I'd come up on something like this, you know, and not being from this region, I'm not familiar with these things, so I didn't even know that they existed because I haven't seen anything. So, I mean, if I haven't seen any of these in the West Coast, you know, being as well traveled as I am, you know, I mean, I'm not very well traveled, but I've been to most of the states here in the U.S. Actually, these states, other than some few in the South, are like the last to hit, you know. So, like, still. I've never seen or heard of a Thunder Can until now, and now that I know, it has inspired me to do things not only with this, but with other things. Primitive design here, pretty unique. Just, yeah, pure genius. Love it. Yeah, for sure. Just a little size of a little bigger than a toilet paper roll, same kind of cardboard, little design on the outside, sealed at the bottom with a spring attached to it that where all the noise is made out of. So when we get back to Washington State and I get my stuff out of storage to set back up again or whatever, then I'll be pulling out the mixer and you know, throwing the effects through it and recording them into the DAW, and then throwing them from that into synthesizer, and seeing what we can make out of it as far as abstract sounds. And I might attach some other things to it because it does some other things as far as acting like a reverb for specific sounds. And now, what about a violin? Play it like a violin, get a, that should make a pretty interesting noise coming out of it. Yeah, total and complete inspiration from the most primitive of designs out there. A little $8 freaking souvenir from the gift shop at Reptile Gardens, which is a pretty interesting place too, by the way. We took little Tussin over there, you know. But yeah, that's it here, folks. Make sure you like, subscribe, do what you can to support the channel if you're not subscribed. And yeah, we'll probably see you guys tomorrow. I'm not making any promises because shit happens, but yeah, we're gonna make this a regular thing every morning, and yeah, do the damn thing. It'll be 10 a.m. our time, 9 a.m. on the West Coast. So we'll see you again tomorrow. Hopefully, same bat time, same bat channel. And you know, maybe we'll find something else cool throughout the day in this region, you know, because there's a lot of places to visit. You know, this is not only a tourist community, but the whole state is a tourist community, kind of like Montana. You know, there's a few states out there that only operate under the guise of tourism, and Montana is one of those places. I mean, they don't only operate, there are locals here, but you know, their bread and butter here is tourism, and this is a huge part of it. So let's see what other crap, or not crap, but cool stuff I could find my way into to show off here on the channel. But yeah, here we go, one last listen. The Thunder Can, y'all. The mighty Thunder Can. And it does roll. It does roll. Take care, y'all. Love y'all. Peace.